Thank you for joining me here this evening. The time is currently 8:10 p.m. Central, 9:10 p.m. Eastern, and you have a live look at a particularly dangerous situation tornado that is currently impacting western Kentucky. This is moving near Eddyville. As of one radar scan ago, I mean, this was just an absolutely ginormous tornado, all right? It was unmatched, all right? I don't know if we've seen any other tornadoes this big today, but it was very large, and it is still very large. We are talking about a massive tornado heading for Crider, Crowtown, Princeton. The debris ball you can even see on reflectivity and on the correlation coefficient. You can see it's just absolutely massive. Again, this is a PDS tornado warning. This is a particularly dangerous situation. You got to run to your tornado safe spot if you're out here. Again, you can see the debris ball and reflectivity very clearly there for a little bit. Mr. Storm is here with me, by the way.
Hey everybody.
So again, this is a PDS tornado. It's gonna kind of parallel Interstate 69, heading for Princeton. Again, this is a large, extremely dangerous tornado here. Again, this is, I mean, one of the bigger ones we've seen today. That debris ball is just ridiculous. I mean, it was quite literally glitching out the correlation coefficient for a little bit. And this has been on the ground, actually, for quite a while. Tornado emergency! Tornado emergency! Tornado emergency!
Okay.
We have a tornado emergency for Crider and Crowtown. Tornado emergency for Lyon and Caldwell counties, Kentucky. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. This is catastrophic damage. This is a tornado emergency. The highest level of weather warning that exists. This is a massive, destructive tornado. I mean, if they went tornado emergency that fast, this has just got to be an absolutely huge tornado.
Wait, is Chris Hall's not on Radar Omega, right?
No.
He's on it, and he's showing a massive cone that's really, like, it's getting big really fast.
Again, this is a tornado emergency now, guys. The highest level of weather warning that exists.
Guys, this is crazy. This is really bad for Crider, I believe.
Yeah, Crider and Crowtown and White Sulphur. You gotta run to your tornado safe spot. This is a massive tornado. Again, catastrophic damage expected.
If you have a storm cellar or a basement, get in there and cover yourself with blankets, pillows, mattress, whatever. But, I mean, it's almost too late if you are a Crider. You just gotta make sure that you are in that tornado safe spot because this is coming in and it's coming in hot.
I was not expecting that to go tornado emergency that fast.
I know. I think, agreeing with you on this, I think that the National Weather Service has just so much confidence that this thing is going to continue to become a massive wedge.
Yeah, I mean, if they're pulling the Tor E trigger this early in its lifespan, this has got to be an absolutely, I mean, just gigantic tornado. Just no question about it. Again, Mr. Storm apparently has a visual on this from Storm Chaser Chris Hall, and he says it is a large cone, and he says it's getting bigger.
Chris Hall was literally screaming into his walkie-talkie, so I think he is worried about this as well.
And this is a real thing that we have to kind of consider here, is that this is going to go right through White Sulphur, Kentucky. Now, luckily, this is not the most populated area in the entire world. What is the actual population on this? I'm kind of surprised they'd issue a tornado emergency for an area this small. Again, if you're just now tuning in, this is a tornado emergency for Crider and Crowtown. This is a particularly dangerous situation. You got to run to your safe spot. I mean, you don't have time. It doesn't matter where you're at in here. You just got to go now. Yeah, the population of this is only 2,500. So if they're issuing a tornado emergency for an area this small, this has got to be a large and violent tornado.
Oh my gosh, that debris ball is... Wow. Look at that velocity couplet. My goodness.
Holy cow, dude. Are you looking from which radar site? Paducah or the Hopkinsville one?
I'm looking at Ryan's stream right now. To at what Chris Hall is doing, because I know he's on it, but obviously Ryan's tracking it with Radar Omega, and I don't know what radar site he's using, but All I know is that the velocities are insane right now.
I'm looking at Paducah, and this is a very, I mean, from both radar sites, this is a very large and strong tornado. And again, possibly violent. If you're out here, you got to run to your tornado safe spot. Again, we're talking about a catastrophic tornado on the ground heading for Crider, Kentucky.
Whoa. Look at the inflow on that thing.
It has just such a big hook echo.
If you look at the inflow winds could be literally over 80 miles per hour.
It's
That's
just
crazy.
so strong.
Big time RFD winds if you are behind this. Kind of off topic, but Ryan has 145,000 watching right now.
Oh, wow. Again, guys.
He just said that this could be the same level of severity as the Mayfield tornado.
Yeah, I kind of figured that comparison was going to come out of somewhere because, Western Kentucky tornado emergency. And if you notice, the outlook for today from the SPC is almost identical to the day of Mayfield's outlook. But anyway, back on topic. This is, again, just such a large tornado here, guys. I mean, this is just a catastrophic situation. Again, oh my gosh, that debris is just everywhere. Again, if you're out here, you gotta run to your tornado safe spot. It's raining debris everywhere from Crider all the way out to White Sulphur. I mean, this is just such a large and violent tornado. We are talking about a debris ball that is just like 3 miles wide almost. This is so large. Again, this is a tornado emergency for Crowtown and Crider.
All is on it. It's a massive wedge at this point.
It's a wedge?
It's a massive wedge.
Wow.
It looks like, honestly, just a black ball.
Yeah, Mr. Storm and I were watching this, like, right before we went live here. 10 minutes ago, this was not even PDS, all right? And we saw it as it touched down. And then we saw it go PDS, and we were like, all right, we got to go live. And then, like, 2 minutes later, I'm pretty sure, tornado emergency.
This is like the Nebraska tornado, except this one, it didn't skip PDS, but it only stayed at PDS for a minute or so and then went right to Tor E. But, I mean, they pulled the trigger really fast, so that's what's pretty scary about this one.
Yeah, and this is a huge tornado out in Western Kentucky, and it looks even better now, or even worse now, I should say.
This is a deadly tornado. This is not something that we would say, like, you don't want to mess around with this storm, or, I mean, like, you don't want to think about, obviously. You need to get into your safe spot and not just think about it. I mean, this is, like, one of those storms that will kill you if you're not inside your safe spot. It's brutal, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, if you're in a mobile home, you gotta get out of there now. If you genuinely can't get inside of somewhere, the best thing to do is lie flat in a ditch. But if you're in a mobile home, this is almost a guaranteed casualty for anybody in a mobile home that gets hit by this tornado.
I think Chris Hall just said the mesocyclone is like 2 miles wide.
Oh my gosh.
That is scary because remember that's the base of the storm that's violent and rotating. The tornado is what comes out of the mesocyclone. So if the mesocyclone's 2 miles wide, then that means the tornado is probably around a mile wide. So I mean, this is just so scary right now for Crider, and now it's in Crider while we speak.
Yeah. This is just so bad. Again, this reminds me so much of Mayfield. And now we do have a tornado report. So, as of 5 minutes ago, the tornado report it was sent in by TrainSpotter. It doesn't say anything other than tornado ongoing at this time. I was hoping it would give us a little description of the tornado or something and talk about its intensity, but all it says is tornado ongoing at this time. So again, we still have a large and violent tornado potentially on the ground here.
And we still have that QLCS charging across Virginia and portions of the Mid-Atlantic at this point. We do have a few tornado warnings out there as well as into a little bit areas a little bit farther to the north.
And that's been that's been out there since last night even, and it's still going.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is just, I mean, it's just the environment that this thing is in. Like, all of these rounds of storms, like, I feel like they're equally as dangerous just because of how crazy intense this environment is.
So again, if you're just joining us, oh my gosh. We have a very large and destructive tornado crossing Marion Road in western Kentucky. This is paralleling Interstate 69 near White Sulphur. If you're in this area, you got to run to your tornado safe spot. Don't think about it. Don't think, okay, how long do I have until I have to go? If you're in this tornado emergency or even just in the PDS tornado warning, you got to go now. It doesn't matter when this is going to arrive. This is throwing debris miles away from where the actual tornado is. So debris could literally start raining like 5 to 10 minutes before the tornado even hits you. Again, the debris ball is like 3.5 to 4 miles wide. I can't even tell anymore. This is just such a massive and violent tornado.
I think it's yellow TVS at this point.
Yeah, I don't trust the TVS signatures though, because they also had rolling fork at a yellow TVS.
Exactly. Yeah, Chris Hall is. He's gonna be very close to it. He might even be in the debris,
Field.
Or, yeah. Alright, he just said it's shifting southeast.
Alright, so oh my gosh, that's gonna put it right in White Sulphur. It's in White Sulphur already. It's going through. Again, this is crossing back and forth over Marion Road right now. It looks like this is going to continue to head towards areas like Crowtown. If it does continue to head southeast, then Crowtown could legitimately be in the direct path of a violent tornado. Again, anywhere along Marion Road and between Bakers and Princeton, you are in a life-threatening situation, and you got to run to your tornado safe spot. If you're on the road there, you got to get off now. You do not have much time. This is just such a large tornado. Again, the National Weather Service had enough confidence to put the tornado emergency tag on this within minutes of it touching down, which means this is a large and potentially violent tornado here, again, ripping through western Kentucky, and it's going to continue here to head towards areas like Farmersville, Needmore, Fryer, and Lewistown as it exits our tornado emergency warning box and continues as a PDS. I think the reason they issued the tornado emergency for only this little area, they do this a lot, it's because it has the potential to go through a town directly, alright? But the PDS, just in general, is anywhere in this area has the potential to get hit by this tornado. We don't know where it's going to get hit, but it doesn't matter. You don't want to risk it in a situation like this. There's no reason not to be in a tornado safe spot right now. Again, interior room, preferably underground, if not underground, on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. That debris, I can't even tell how much of that is debris anymore. That is just insane.
Oh, wow. So, someone on X posted a picture of the tornado, and it's pretty much a wedge.
Wow. Okay.
It's either an extremely large cone or a wedge.
Right, so again, this is a large and, once again, possibly even a violent tornado currently ripping through areas like Crowtown, Kentucky, White Sulphur, Kentucky, and it's going to continue to head northeast here. I'm not seeing any signs of this stopping. This environment is just so prime for tornadic activity. I would honestly, not even rule out, a couple more violent tornadoes in this region. We've already had several PDS tornadoes in this area today, and I don't think that's stopping anytime soon, for sure.
Remember, the reason why the SPC upgraded to the moderate risk is because we did get a big bunch of. Hold up, I need to go. 1 second.
Okay. But yeah, okay, so we do have a new PDS tornado warning. It's an extension here for a storm. Now as far out as Madisonville and Earlington, Kentucky, you need to be running to your tornado safe spot. Again, this is a PDS tornado warning. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Again, it doesn't matter where you're at in this warning box. This is throwing debris miles away from where the actual tornado is. It is so strong the velocities are literally glitching out here. This could be a very violent tornado. And again, this is a tornado emergency.
Madisonville's pretty popular, and this one's getting pretty close.
If this stays on the ground long enough to get to Madisonville, we might honestly see them reissue this tornado emergency. It just depends on is this going to stay on the ground. And it really doesn't matter whether or not it's PDS or tornado emergency. This is still just such a large and strong, and again, potentially deadly tornado here that is currently ripping through western Kentucky. And again, unfortunately, it looks like it went right through the White Sulphur area. Even if it didn't, there are homes all along Marion Road out here. And it looks like most of them are relatively small, so that is not good because that could mean that, a smaller home, maybe there's a less chance that it has a basement or, a better area to take cover from. Hopefully there were no mobile homes that got hit by this. Holy cow.
Oh, that's gonna be really bad.
These velocities are just absolutely ridiculous here. Again, they're kind of glitched out here because of how strong this actually is. Again, this is just such a strong tornado, guys.
What are you scanning?
The velocities currently are about, let's see here. They're about 61 against 61, so that's about 123 miles per hour there. So not quite as strong as they were earlier, but actually that is kind of glitched out there. We kind of have a pocket of dead air, which makes me worried what's actually there, because those are likely some very intense winds. If we look from the Paducah radar, let's see what we got here. So the Paducah radar is painting an even worse picture where it's got 86 mile per hour winds going against 64 mile per hour winds. So that would be 150 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear there. So hopefully the Hopkinsville radar is a bit more accurate here because if this is actually still that strong, this is once again a deadly situation. I mean, either way, this is really bad. Again, this just crossed over Briarfield Road. Now going to be crossing Highway 293 very closely very soon if it hasn't already. Again, this is a very quick-moving tornado. It's moving east at about 30 miles per hour. Again, if you're in this warning, any of these warnings, you got to go now.
151 watching Ryan right now.
151K?
Yeah, 151K, yeah.
You live in Middlesboro, Kentucky? Is this storm going to impact my area? Well, let's see. Where's Middlesboro? So Middlesboro is in, way far southeastern Kentucky. I think you will probably have, again, that potential for a few strong to severe storms, but this tornado is not heading anywhere near Middlesboro, so Middlesboro is all good at the minute. The newest velocity scan makes this tornado look even worse now. So now even from the Hopkinsville radar, we are scanning about, let's see here, about 67 against 67, so that would be about 134. Again, very strong tornado here. And again, possibly deadly as it continues to head northeast.
Ryan said it could be even bigger than it was at its max.
You can see the debris ball and reflectivity again, by the way.
Yeah, he literally, had a moment where he looked like he was getting emotional. That's how bad this thing is.
And this is also, I just noticed, we apparently have wind damage reports from this area from the earlier round of storms this morning. Looks like it knocked out power and knocked down trees for a lot of people out here. So this area really doesn't need any more problems. But unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen. They are going to get quite rattled here as this tornado continues to head northeast. Again, this is going to head towards areas like Needmore, Olney, Kirkwood Springs, and Charleston in western Kentucky. Very strong tornado. Very strong.
That means there could be more debris being lofted in the air because of the wind damage left behind earlier.
Yeah, there could be more loose objects out there. This is just not good at all. And again, we have a new tornado emergency now, so I'm going to go ahead and play our emergency alert.
This is an emergency alert. A large and
There we
strong
go.
tornado is on the ground.
We have a new tornado emergency now. This is for areas to the north of Lewiston. This is once again a catastrophic tornado. As it continues here, they have upgraded this back up to a tornado emergency now. At 8:29 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a confirmed large and destructive tornado was located near Farmersville or near Princeton, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Tornado emergency for eastern Caldwell County. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. And you know what? I don't know if I've ever seen this. I have never seen a tornado emergency that doesn't include any towns, but that's what this is. There are literally no towns in this tornado emergency. So if they're issuing tornado emergencies for areas this rural, this just has to be an absolutely gigantic tornado on the ground here. I am seeing a photo of it. It is, at the very least, a decent-sized cone there. Again, this has some very violent winds, it looks like. Very large tornado. And it's also multi-vortex. I just saw a video that was... Oh, wow. I just saw a video of this absolutely ripping apart a structure here. There's so many power flashes. This is such a strong tornado. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you look at Radar Omega, the polygon doesn't include any towns, so I guess that's why it just doesn't have any any towns in there.
Yeah, so it has to be a very strong tornado if they're issuing tornado emergencies for areas that are this rural. We also have a new tornado warning up near Lawrenceville, Illinois.
This is traveling north of Interstate 69.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
And it just crossed Highway 293, and it's riding up... What road is that? It's the one that goes up towards Olney.
The Princeton-Olney Road.
Alright, it's riding up that road. Gosh.
For some reason, the tornado emergency, the new one... Okay, there it is. It's not popping up on NWS's X page. That's weird. Again, this is a catastrophic tornado on the ground. Wow.
What are you getting on gate-to-gate share?
Let's see. Right now, we are measuring about winds of 70 miles per hour against winds of 67 miles per hour. So that'd be 137 miles per hour.
Well.
Yeah, no problem, Kevin. Sorry, I've been a little slow in the chat here. I've got a lot of stuff to look at right now other than chat. Again, this is a tornado emergency. They did not issue it for very long. They only issued it for 16 minutes, and now it's down to 12 minutes left. And again, this is just awful. Again, we are talking about a catastrophic and deadly tornado. Oh, wow.
Alright. Elliot Joyce for Ryan just said that they confirmed that debris was lofted 37,000 feet.
You gotta be kidding me.
He just said that was confirmed by radar.
And now the gate... Oh, wow. The velocities are so strong.
Oh my gosh, look at reflectivity. It's almost like curling up.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if it might even be getting debris. So I think that might be the reason why it's curling up. Oh my gosh, if this goes to Charleston, this is really not good, let alone just the situation we have now.
We've got 102 mile per hour winds against 79 mile per hour winds. So,
holy cow.
This is a very, very strong tornado. Again, a violent tornado. It does not matter where you are, anywhere on these polygons. It does not matter the specific intricacies at this point. Everybody in the entire counties that are included in these tornado warnings need to be getting to their safe spot right now. Again, this is a large, deadly tornado. I genuinely was not expecting to see something like this today. It's kind of fitting, though, that the final day of this massive tornado outbreak sequence ends like this because pretty much none of these days we were expecting to be as bad as they were. Wow. Okay, so
Wow.
we can see the debris ball more clearly again.
There is a tornado on the ground with a CC drop near Egbernsville, Virginia.
In Virginia?
Yeah, confirmed, or it's not confirmed, I don't think so, but it has a debris ball.
Oh, yep.
Or, sorry, CC drop.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. That's, yeah, that may be a tornado there near Rixieville now. So again, if you're in that area, you need to be in your safe spot. Again, though, we need to go back to our tornado emergency here. Again, this is a very large tornado. Even though there's literally nothing to pick up out here, it still somehow is managing to have a nearly 3 mile long debris ball.
Sorry to cut you off, but I think it's Upper Hills on the Illinois-Indiana border, there is a massive hook echo, and I believe, Ryan just said that there's a tornado on the ground there.
Near Upper Hills?
So we have different tornadoes on the ground in the United States right now. This is really just showing the craziness of this outbreak.
Alright, so again, we have a tornado emergency for... Again, I can't even name any town names because for the first time ever, this may literally be the first time in history that a tornado emergency has been issued in an area that has no towns. This has got to be the first time. I've never seen anything like this.
We're getting debris lofted 37,000 feet in the air in this kind of a, environment is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, in an area this rural, the fact that we are getting so much debris is just insane. Again, we are talking about...
Oh my gosh. If this gets to Charleston, this is really not going to be good. Oh my gosh. Oh, that debris ball is so big.
So, again, this is... unfortunately, we're entering a more populated area now, and...
It looks like there's no saving grace, guys, because it's not like there's a line of storms to swallow this up. It's just, it's such a discrete environment that, this is why we have, the upgrades and the watches and stuff. It's just because of how incredibly dangerous this environment is. There's literally nothing slowing the storm down.
And now we have another tornado emergency. Sorry to cut you off, but we have another tornado emergency.
That is our third tornado emergency, and does that include,
It includes Charleston, Ilse, Dawson Springs, and Olney.
Oh, no. Alright, so this is becoming worst-case scenario at this point, I would say.
Again, this is our third tornado emergency of the night. This is... Oh, my gosh. The National Weather Service's wording on this is some of the most concerning I've seen. It says... all persons in the area need to take cover immediately with 3 exclamation marks. They are just freaking out right now with the wording in this.
Wow.
Again, this is one of the more deadly tornadoes we have seen this year, and that is saying something. If you're out here, you do not have time. You got to go. It does not matter where you are. If you're in the warning, you got to go now.
Oh my gosh, dude. This is the definition of a long-track, violent, and destructive tornado. There's a hole in the reflectivity. That's debris. Oh, we gotta pray this just goes north of Charleston.
Again, if you're just not tuning in, very large and deadly tornado ripping through western Kentucky. This is... Anybody out here in western Kentucky likely remembers the Mayfield tornado. This is a Mayfield-like event, potentially to the same level as the Mayfield, Kentucky tornado. This is so long tracking, it's so violent, it is so dangerous. We've already gotten 3 tornado emergencies from this one tornado. Again, Charleston, Kentucky, you've got minutes. You gotta run to your safe spot.
Chris Hall, I think, just said that he's dropping south. But he said, I think he might, I'm not sure if he said this, but I think he said debris is raining out of the sky.
This is just absolutely insane.
And he's getting hail, because he's on the north side of things, so. This is just to the north of Interstate 69. So if you're traveling on that interstate, you need to get into a good building, okay? And you need to get underground and away from windows.
And now this may be a rain-wrapped tornado. With that newest reflectivity scan, it would not surprise me if this is a rain-wrapped tornado now. Again, this is one of the strongest tornadoes we've ever been live for here on this channel. Again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. It's a tornado emergency, catastrophic damage.
Oh my gosh, look at velocities.
Yeah, I see it.
What's the gate-to-gate shear?
It's 126 against 53, so 179 gate-to-gate shear.
My goodness. Apparently there are people trying to hide or take cover in the subway station, which is a horrible idea. Don't do that.
Yeah, some major don'ts for a tornado like this. If you're in a car, don't park under an overpass. That is incredibly stupid. I don't know how that started to become a trend where people thought that was a good idea, but that is just really dumb. You don't want to be outside, obviously, like no duh, but you don't want to be outside. You don't want to be near any windows. You want to stay away from heavy objects, preferably getting into an interior room, and you don't want to be on like the second floor of a 2-story house or something.
I'll be right back.
Alright. But yeah, we focus a lot about the do's on tornadoes like this, but we don't talk a lot about the don'ts. Those are some of the don'ts, pretty much the opposites of the do's. And catastrophic tornado. It's a tornado emergency now. And again, I don't see this getting any better anytime soon. The only reason the debris ball looks less is because there's less stuff to pick up out here. And this is heading right for Charleston. And now my Radar Omega is glitching.
This is really not good, guys. Wow. I mean, we just got a print. This does not go right through Charleston, but I'm sure we're going to hear Greenfield-like stories and potentially Mayfield-like stories from the victims of this tornado.
Yeah, this is going to go somewhere, in my opinion, this is going to go somewhere in between downtown Charleston and the intersection of Interstate 69 and Highway 109. I think it's going to go in between. It's going to cross over Charleston Road here. along Highway 109. Even if it doesn't hit downtown Charleston, even if it goes to the south of it, there are still a ton of homes out here on this road. So we are, again, in a catastrophic scenario, no matter which way we paint it. The tornado emergency on the backside has been downgraded to a PDS tornado warning, but again, we still have a tornado emergency for Charleston, Dawson Springs, and Ilse, how do you pronounce that?
What radar are you using?
Right now I'm using the Hopkinsville one.
I feel like, I don't know. It's still catastrophic. That's all I can say right now. Wow, that debris ball. Yeah, it's... Let's see. Charleston. Okay, there are homes in the way of this.
I'm
Charleston.
gonna kind of drag out an ETA here. We're gonna do a little drag out. This is moving at...
This is doing damage. There are a lot of homes. There's like a cluster of homes in like a network of streets, in between Charleston and Lewiston. But I think that's why the debris ball just got so big, because it's hitting homes right now, and I believe it just went through a church as well.
Yikes.
This is
Wow.
terrible. Terrible.
And again, the velocities look very concerning again. I'm going to drag this out here. We're going to talk about an ETA of when this is going to arrive. I'm not saying you should seek shelter only whenever this arrives. Everywhere that I'm about to mention needs to be in their tornado safe spot right now. So Charleston, you've got 8 minutes. West Side Heights, about 26 minutes. Hecla, 26 minutes. PV, 26 minutes. Earlington, 27 minutes. Wesco, 28 minutes. Barnsley, 28 minutes. Dozier Heights, 28 minutes. Victoria, 29 minutes. Morton's Gap, 30 minutes. And Grapevine in 31 minutes. Again, I'm not saying you should seek shelter only whenever this arrives. You need to be in your safe spot right now. I'm just kind of giving an ETA of when this is going to be here.
Can I call you back on Discord, just on the computer?
Yeah.
I'm using right now. Alright.
Alright. So again, very large and violent tornado on the ground, guys. And just cannot believe it. I genuinely can't. Again, 3 tornado emergencies in a row. Wow. Again, this is a very large and violent tornado once again. We were talking about gate-to-gate shear, 58 miles per hour against 68 miles per hour. So that would be, 126 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear there with this. Again, still has a massive debris ball associated with it. The debris ball is quite literally 2 miles wide and about 2 to 2.5 miles long. So again, we're talking about a very violent and large tornado impacting portions of Caldwell and Hopkins counties in Kentucky right now.
Oh my gosh. Chris Hall just said that he saw people trying to take pictures of the tornado that weren't storm chasers.
Guys, you can't be that stupid in a situation like this. You really can't. That is just absolutely ridiculous.
That's dumb. That is dumb. We may even get our 4th tornado emergency if this keeps up.
Yeah, you guys do not do that. There is no way that it's worth risking your life for a picture of a tornado. That is just not worth it. He's got 170 on the gate-to-gate. Wow.
170.
Whoa. Okay, again, very large debris ball and reflectivity. I can only imagine how big this actually is. We are talking about debris bringing DBZ values up to 64. So this is just such a strong tornado. Again, this is very violent. And, look at the velocities. We are at about 175 miles per hour on the velocities again. a very defined velocity coupled at this point. It's not like super messy. We can actually see the tornado very clearly now.
So we have now reports of damage, and there are injuries as well.
Okay.
Already. It's just crazy. I mean, it's just, I don't mean to come off rude or anything, but I mean, there's just too many people that are just playing dumb out here. If people are taking photos, you know, putting their car, just stopping their car in their underpasses, I mean, you can't do that. You have to get to a shelter with this kind of tornado.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people understand how bad this is. They think, oh, tornado warning, okay.
We can honestly get our 4th tornado emergency just because of how bad and long track and just violent this thing is.
Yeah. I mean,
This thing is...
You gotta go now, guys. There's absolutely no reason to not be in a safe spot right now. Unless there are literally burning hot coals all over where your tornado safe spot is, there's no reason you should not be there right now. And this is such a strong tornado. This is, again, going to go just to the south of Charleston, in my opinion, right along Charleston Road. Wow. News velocity scan is showing that continuing. Again, it's going to go over Charleston Road here. There are a lot of homes.
To mention, there's one storm in Indiana. This isn't just a massive cluster of severe thunderstorm warnings. It is tornado warning, the segment that I'm watching, but there is a segment of winds that could be over 100 miles per hour and velocities right now.
By the way, guys, we do have a new radar-confirmed tornado on the ground. This is in southwestern Indiana. This is for the Fort Branch area. Is that what you were talking about? Is this super high cluster?
I believe so.
Yeah, just to the east of Fort Branch, this is a tornado warning. It's confirmed.
Yep.
And that could be a pretty strong tornado as well. So I'm going to go ahead and play my alert. If it would like to work, that would be fantastic. Whatever, you get the gist. Again, very strong tornado up there. You got to seek shelter. And then back down to our tornado emergency in Kentucky. I mean, it's obviously our main focus right now. Very violent tornado. Very catastrophic. By the way, on a side note, a tornado in northern Arkansas last night got rated EF-3 officially.
Yep.
Just for anybody that didn't know. Somebody.
How'd that go? Okay. It just rebounded on. Let's see. 92. 30.
Oh my gosh, the reflectivity though. We are getting.
Still getting like 125 plus mile an hour gate to gate shear.
We are on 66 dBZs from the debris.
Oh gosh, it just went right through southern Charleston.
Somebody already updated the Tornadoes of 2024 wiki page to include this tornado. I was gonna do that, but people, I mean, this is probably viral right now. I've not been looking at social media, but again, this is a very strong tornado. Again, I don't want to ignore our folks up here in southwestern Indiana. If you're up here in Mackey, Somerville, Fort Branch, Oakland City Junction, Enos Corner, Spurgeon, all the way out towards Holland, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. But we've got a very serious situation ongoing in Kentucky. Also noticed, apparently, there is... Okay, never mind.
Man. This is just insane.
Somebody said 182 gate-to-gate shear, because there is actually a real way to measure gate-to-gate shear, not just by doing this, but somebody apparently scanned 182. And now we are up to 67 dBZs on the debris ball, southeast of Charleston. That is, the highest I've ever seen from a debris ball is 68, and this is 67. So we are talking one of the biggest tornadoes I've seen in my entire life.
Could this be strengthening?
Quite possibly. It's definitely not any weaker.
There's a hook echo on the debris ball. That's just scary.
Yeah, the debris ball's reflectivity values keep getting higher and higher as well.
Let me see how big this is.
Oh my gosh.
The debris ball is over 2 miles wide.
Wow.
My goodness.
So what, is this our 4th tornado emergency so far? And this is about to expire, so we may see a 5th.
We might. I'm praying that we won't.
I believe the Mayfield tornado
if-
got 5.
We definitely, if we were to get a new tornado emergency, it would include Morton's Gap and Barnsley, Kentucky. I don't know about Arlington, but it's a lot more populated in Morton's Gap and Barnsley than just the area this tornado went through just now. But I mean, that debris ball just really explains how dangerous this tornado is, just with the amount of destruction it can cause.
Again, everybody up in Indiana, even if this is not a active tornado still on the ground, we are talking about winds over 100 miles per hour, 0.4 degrees into the atmosphere. So you need to be in your, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now.
You see that little storm cell to the south of the tornado? Ryan said that could actually choke it off and potentially slow down the action of tornado genesis.
On the emergency one or the Indiana one?
Emergency one.
I have a question. How's the weather in St. Louis? St. Louis is fine right now. St. Louis got hit hard today, but they're fine right now.
They were under a tornado warning earlier, and I believe we actually did have a tornado in the...
Yeah, I saw that.
And this outbreak is just incredible. And yesterday.
The correlation coefficient is very impressive once again on our tornado emergency. This tornado emergency expires in 1 minute, so we're gonna see if they do continue this. I don't really see why they wouldn't. This doesn't look any weaker to me.
Yep.
And again, even if they don't, it really doesn't matter, as we still have a PDS tornado warning, that of which standing for a particularly dangerous situation. But for the past 45 minutes, we've had a tornado emergency the entire time. So if this expires, this is going to be a big break in the chain here, luckily. So hopefully it does. But again, it doesn't. The wording that the National Weather Service uses doesn't determine how strong the tornado is, guys. Whether it's an emergency or a PDS, the tornado doesn't really care. Obviously. So, alright, that is officially expired and it was not reissued. So I'm going to go ahead and update the stream title to PDS Tornado.
So on the 4th tornado emergency, did they use that warning with any persons in the warning box?
I think they did until they condensed it. They did it until they updated the warning. I think that was the one.
This thing's officially weakening at least slightly, but
So again, if you're just now tuning in, this is a PDS tornado warning for Madisonville, Kentucky. This does include downtown Madisonville, and I mean Madisonville is a massive city out here in western Kentucky. So if you're in this area, again, you got to run to your tornado safe spot right now. Just updated the stream title. We are officially down to a PDS tornado warning. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to reissue the tornado emergency, but at the minute, I think they're going to probably stick with the PDS for at least a little bit. And apparently, a train spotter did officially confirm the Indiana tornado as of 10 minutes ago.
I do think they're going to keep it at PDS because I do think that storm is actually choking it off.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case for a little bit. Now we're kind of talking about the aftermath. You know, what kind of damage reports are we going to see from this storm? We're going to continue to stay live with you guys as we do have multiple strong and damaging tornadoes on the ground. Again, this is still a particularly dangerous situation for portions of western Kentucky here, now getting close to central Kentucky. Oh, you were watching the weather. You were watching the race today in Indy. Yeah, I know Indianapolis got a severe thunderstorm warning, and they had to delay the Indy 500. Which, oh, okay, it's back up to tornado emergency.
It is. Wow.
So we have a tornado emergency once again. This is like our fifth one of the night for Ilse and Morton's Gap, Kentucky. And this is a tornado emergency for southeastern Hopkins County.
Weather warning in existence.
So I gotta update the stream title again, even though I literally just downgraded it. Again, we are back up to a tornado emergency. It took them a minute to decide, wow. So that definitely shows that they are thinking about whether or not this is weakening. But again, we are back up to a tornado emergency, and the debris ball is just so large with this storm here. And we're talking about a debris ball that's about 3 miles long and about 2 miles wide. Very large tornado, again, producing catastrophic damage now as it continues to head towards Barnsley and Morton's Gap, Kentucky.
They don't have that weird wording, but regardless, I mean, this is the same strength as what it was. So you gotta get in your safe spot. Have to be there pretty much already if you're in Morton's Gap or Barnsley, but this thing is coming in and it's coming in hot.
I noticed this last time too. There's actually a typo on the tornado emergency.
Where?
Where it says this is a tornado emergency for Morton's Gap and Central Hopkins County, it says this is his particularly dangerous situation. So not only is there a typo, but there's also a grammar error, because even if that was meant to say this, it would say this is this particularly dangerous situation. So not only is there a typo,
with wording.
Yeah.
So they could be trying to put something a little different in there just because of how bad this situation is.
Well, I think they edited it for the last one where they said the all persons should take shelter thing, and they made that typo then, and now they've just forgotten to change it back, because I think they have, obviously, the automatic system for warnings in the National Weather Service warnings. But I think they messed it up, and they did not fix it. Yes, there's a tornado outbreak today. Let's go back up to our Indiana tornado here. Again, this is near Monroe City, and actually this is a whole different tornado. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. Wait, yeah, it is. We have another tornado, apparently, near Monroe City and Pond Creek Mills, Indiana. Yep, it's there. It's a weak debris signature, but it is there. The velocities look relatively strong. That is another tornado on the ground. The velocities are showing winds that are very high, close to 100 miles per hour with this tornado here. Again, that's another tornado. And we do have a new PDS tornado.
160 gate-to-gate shear.
Oh, wow. We do have a new PDS tornado warning for Greenville and Central City, Kentucky. So as far as Central City, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Again, this is a continuation for this ongoing tornado. They're issuing, it kind of looks like what they've been doing here for kind of the past hour now, is issuing a large area of a PDS tornado warning, and then in a small spot where we're more certain where the tornado is going to hit, they've been issuing the tornado emergency. But the PDS tornado area is a broad vicinity of where the tornado could go, but you should treat that very seriously, as that means a potentially large and violent tornado could impact your area. And the tornado emergency in this kind of situation is, it looks like it's being used for whenever we know it's going to go here. They're using these warnings in an entirely different way than usual because of how long and severe this tornado is.
So the gate-to-gate shear actually was about 130 rather than 160.
Okay.
So that's good.
And now it is all the way down to 120 with the newest velocity
But that
scan.
debris ball is so big.
Whoa, yeah, that CC drop is incredibly deep. About 3 miles long and about a mile and a half wide, it looks like at this point. So it's not weakening at all. And this reminds me almost exactly of Mayfield, Kentucky. This is such a similar situation, if not even worse.
I mean, 5 tornado emergencies is unheard of.
I'm pretty sure that's how many the I don't know. I think that's actually more than the Mayfield tornado got. So, by the way, we have a new mesoscale discussion. The threat for severe gust and QLCS tornadoes will likely continue, and a tornado watch will likely be needed for portions of eastern Kentucky. And I'm surprised they don't mention anything about this tornado in here because this is definitely a very concerning situation. They did actually highlight this before the tornado touchdown. They said strong tornado risk over the next 1 to 2 hours in this vicinity, and they were correct because the supercell was already there. It just didn't drop a tornado at that time, but now it has. And again, this is continuing to be a very strong and violent tornado here, heading to the south of Arlington. It's going to go very close, dangerously close, I would say, to Morton's Gap and Barnsley.
Washington, D.C. is about to get hit by a pretty gnarly line of storms. Severe warned.
Okay. Looking like some quarter-sized hail and some 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts there.
Ryan Hoyle just said this is a catastrophic tornado of every proportions.
Oh my gosh, the debris wall, though. About 3.5 miles long, about a mile and a half wide.
My gosh, this is shocking debris. I wish we knew how high up the debris was going, because then we would get a little bit better of a understanding of how strong a tornado is at right now. But it doesn't even matter. We just need to make sure that everybody is in the safest spot possible.
Yeah, I mean, this has gone back and forth from radar confirmed to weather spotters confirmed to law enforcement confirmed. Right now, it's radar confirmed, which you should treat that as seriously as any other type of confirmation, because I think a lot of people don't understand that there's a difference between radar indicated and radar confirmed. Radar confirmed means there is almost certainly a tornado on the ground. Radar indicated means that one could develop, but we're not seeing anything at the minute. And by the way, the gate-to-gate shear is back up to about 145 miles per hour. So this has been on the ground for over an hour at this point, guys, because it was on the ground for a few minutes before we started stream. We've been live for about 57 minutes. One of the more long-tracking tornadoes we've seen ever in our live streaming history here. The gate-to-gate shear is about 114. Yeah, I heard him.
Oh, you heard?
Yeah.
2-mile wide debris ball, and he said it's at this point it could even get to the point where it could be hard to survive this tornado.
According to,
if you're not in the safest spot possible.
According to a reliable source, this has been on the ground for about 35 miles, which doesn't sound like a long time. You guys gotta understand, the average tornado tracks like 5 miles. So 35 miles, very long tracking.
My goodness.
Psy Animations, I'm actually just going to go ahead and make you a channel mod because you're always here helping out, and unlike some of our some of our viewers, you actually provide useful information. That's not a knock on anybody in particular. I'm just saying there are some people that don't give good information. You're one of the ones that do, so I'm just going to go ahead and make you a moderator. Could North Alabama see these kinds of tornadoes? No. Nope.
Do tornado watch.
All right, so yeah, that is the one I was
That's
mentioning
pretty
earlier
long.
for Central Kentucky. Wait, what?
There's a tornado watch in Illinois, and I believe it does include Effingham County.
That is not new. And that doesn't... Wait, what?
That just came up on Ryan's stream.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't know what that's about.
I'm not seeing that anywhere.
Interesting.
I'm looking on X. I looked at the NOAA website, and I haven't gotten any alerts, so it probably doesn't include my county. That's weird, though. That may be a glitch. It may be from earlier's tornado watch, and it's just coming in, like, way late, because there was one for Effingham County.
Holy cow, the gate to gate shear.
Oh, wow. It's glitching out.
Getting 140, 145, 150.
And it could be even hotter than that, because if you notice, it's, like, super glitched out here in some spots. So the winds could quite literally be so high it's breaking the scale, guys.
Yeah, Chris Paul confirmed that this is the same severity level, if not stronger than, or worse, I should say, than Mayfield. This is crazy. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how much longer this is going to continue for.
I mean, this has been on the ground for a while.
It's been well over an hour now. It's been about 70 minutes. And now, it is looking kind of like this is its weakest point since it went tornado emergency warning, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that, but...
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. But I think they will reissue the tornado. I think they're gonna, I think they're gonna let the tornado emergency that we have now expire. And if it re-strengthens, I think we're gonna see one more tornado emergency. But I have no idea what's gonna happen after that. We just need to worry about them now. But yeah, I actually do agree with you that this is the weakest point of it since they reissued the tornado emergency, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not... It's still a very strong tornado. I want to make that clear, but I'm not seeing anything that's as bad as what we were looking at earlier, in my opinion. Oh, wow. Mesoscale Discussion 1000 for this year was just issued. This is Mesoscale Discussion 1000.
Wow.
Sorry, that was kind of off topic, but I knew we were going to hit it today with all this activity. We started the day at like around 970, so I figured we were going to get to 1,000, and we did. Reed Timmer just said this is going to be the biggest tornado of the season.
This is a tornado that's going to be remembered for a long time.
Again, I mean, yeah, this is just quite literally so...
You still there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is just so similar to Mayfield. At 114 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear here still near Barnsley. And again, unfortunately, this went right through Barnsley, northwestern Barnsley. Okay, I wasn't even focusing too much on the specific locations. But geez, dude. Jeez Louise. Luckily, this is our only confirmed tornado at this point, so whenever this lifts, we might finally be able to stop this stream.
Man, I'm really nervous to hear what's going to happen with the damage reports.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that new tornado watch, by the way, in Illinois.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I just saw it came up on Ryan's stream, so I think it was just delayed.
Yeah, it must have been way delayed. It must have just been really delayed. Guys, to put this in perspective of how long this is tracked, we have literally switched the radar site we've been using since the start of it. We started off by using the Paducah radar, then we switched to Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and now we're about to switch, I mean, not really, but still crazy. Okay, this is much weaker now. You gotta admit.
Okay.
If you look at velocities.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That is a huge moment of relief right there. As soon as it hit Barnsley, it just died. Okay. We might finally be done. I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're finally done. I do want to stay here live for a little bit longer, though, to make sure that this is really done and it's not just recycling.
Yeah, let's hope this doesn't just recycle, but...
If we take a look, this will actually be kind of interesting. I'm going to take a look here at the velocity history of this tornado. We have to go back like 50 frames. Okay. This is what this tornado looked like, so we can see it. Oh my gosh, that's way too fast. I mean, you can see it, though. It just ripped through such a large area. And, okay, I have an update here on some of the damage. As of 53 minutes ago, this was kind of closer to the beginning of the tornado's lifespan. This was whenever it was near Princeton, kind of at its one of its stronger points. There are 3 injuries already confirmed. Trees down across multiple roads, making travel impossible. 3 minor injuries reported about 4 to 5 miles north of Princeton.
All right.
But yeah, that is from an emergency manager. They're saying that travel is impossible right now across areas to the north of Princeton because of how much damage there is.
That's really scary.
All right, see ya, Lily. Yeah, very scary stuff here indeed. Hello, Andy. Lily leaves and Andy shows up. Somebody said this is occluding in the same spot that the Mayfield tornado did. Is that true? I don't remember.
What?
Is this occluding in the same spot that the Mayfield tornado did? I feel like it is. Somebody in chat said that.
No. Saul just said that he has power flashes in front of him. At a time, we were scanning 125 just on 1 pixel on velocities.
Yeah, going one way. Yeah, well, okay, so Mayfield actually occluded quite a bit further than this. Mayfield did track way longer than this, apparently. I think that's mostly because Mayfield was moving quicker, though. Again, I kind of want to focus more, on the present, but I will say this has so many similarities to the Mayfield tornado for sure. Probably have to make a whole live stream about that or video about that or something. Alright. Somehow we still have a tornado emergency for this, but the National Weather Service is probably just playing it safe and making sure that this is lifted, which is smart. It's still a very impressive velocity couplet. This would be enough to warrant a radar-indicated tornado warning, I would say. For sure. It hit the same area this tornado is occluding. Oh, okay, so it just hit this area. It didn't occlude here. Okay, wow. I mean, yeah, that's probably true just because of how similar the paths are. But
the debris, the correlation coefficient is so contaminated.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real debris in there anymore. Maybe a little bit, but
I think it's pretty much roping out. If not, it's lifted at this point.
yeah. I do want to reemphasize, though, do not let your guard down. Stay in your safe spot if you're out here. This is such a favorable environment for this to be able to recycle. It's still in a relatively discreet region, not quite as discreet anymore. That line of storms is really catching up to it now. I think that's part of the thing that killed it. But this could definitely recycle at least a much weaker tornado. So stay in your tornado safe spot here. Again, this is still technically a tornado emergency, but, I mean... Come on now. Guys, I know the National Weather Service has been issuing so many tornado emergencies recently. A couple of them, probably didn't warn it. Okay, I have new information. This is now no longer PDS. It's down to observed. Somehow the tornado emergency is still in effect, but they downgraded the PDS warning to observed. And pretty quickly, that's probably going to go down to radar indicated. But anyway, I know the National Weather Service has issued a lot of tornado emergencies recently, so it feels like these aren't that rare. But for the most part, they've been doing those in good situations. But, I mean, this is just such a strong tornado. I mean, tornado emergencies are rare. We usually get one like every 6 months, if that even. So... I mean, it's just crazy. I know the other day we had a tornado emergency that ended. The ending result was an EF-1 tornado. That's not this kind of situation. This
will not be EF-1. I can guarantee this is at least EF-3.
Yeah, this is not like this is not a false alarm. This is nothing like that.
This is code red right here.
Yeah, this is a storm that actually deserved the emergency. And finally, we no longer have a tornado emergency. So I think what we're going to do here is, because we've been live now for over an hour, we're going to end off the stream since we no longer have any tornadoes on the ground. We will come back later if necessary. But at this point, I think the tornado threat's really going to start to die out. That was kind of our last discrete supercell out here in this environment. And I think at this point, the damaging wind threats are really going to take over for parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. So I do want to thank you all for watching. Mr. Storm, you have any final words?
Just stay safe out there, guys. I mean, remember, these storms are... There's a lot of discrete supercells that are still producing tornadoes as we speak and capable of producing tornadoes. So expect more tornadoes in this area with more tornado watches that will be ineffective because of how insane this environment is for tornadoes. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.